Hey guys, so in today's lesson we're going to learn all about the decrease. Now let's say you've worked up a piece in the round and it's starting to look like this. It can be however tall or however wide as well. Now your piece might say or include something in the pattern that says make a decrease. And for you guys, you need to know that there are two different types of decreases. The first one is the one that I'm just about to show you. So in this sort of pattern, I have increased up to 2 single crochet stitches, and then I've made an increase 6 times all the way around to give me 24 stitches in the round. So I'm going to now make 2 single crochet stitches first, and then I'm going to make the first type of decrease, which is kind of the most commonly known decrease and the one that's kind of expected as well, unless specified otherwise, and it is called the invisible decrease. Now it's called the invisible decrease because it literally is not visible, and it weaves the stitches very closely together, and this is how you do it. So you want to insert your hook into the very front loop of that next stitch. See how I'm in the front loop and not in the back loop there? And then I'm going to continue to put my hook into the front loop of the very next stitch as well. I hope you can see that I'm just in the front loop, and now I'm going to pull the yarn through both of those front loops just like that, and then the yarn will go through those 2 loops on the hook, and there we go, we've just made an invisible decrease. So let's work another invisible decrease after 2 stitches first. So 1 and 2, and then here's the invisible decrease. So front loop first, then front loop of the next stitch, then pull the yarn through and finish off that invisible decrease. There we go. Okay, type decrease number 2. So let's make those 2 single crochet stitches first. And now this is the other type of decrease. It's not an invisible decrease, but it is called a decrease, but sometimes it's also termed single crochet 2 together. So it's on the screen here so you can see what it looks like in writing. So single crochet 2 together, this is how we do it. We insert the hook into the very first stitch and we pull up a loop just like this. Then we insert the hook into the very next stitch and pull up another loop. So now we have 3 loops on the hook. And then the yarn is going to go through all 3 loops on the hook. So it's a little bit more bulky compared to your invisible decrease, and that's why it's not called an invisible decrease, this one. This one's called a single crochet 2 together, just like that. And you usually work this one in certain pieces that require it, but also if a piece requires you to work in the back loops, sometimes when you do an invisible decrease, it's almost impossible to work one in just the back loops. Like your hook gets a little bit stuck here and it's hard to pull this yarn through those 2 loops, so it doesn't work as well like how you would for front loop, pull through. So instead, if you're working in the back loops, you usually do that single crochet 2 together, but in the back loops only, just like that. So those are some differences between those 2 types of increases. Now there are a few other things. Of course, we were working with the single crochet, and by default you can label that as a decrease or single crochet 2 together. But then if you have other types of stitches, it's usually specified. So for example, if you were working a half double crochet decrease, you would work it like this. You wrap the yarn once, and then you have the yarn come through the first front loop and then also the second front loop. Then you pull the yarn through. You've got 3 loops on the hook because you were doing a half double crochet decrease, and then you pull the yarn through all of that. Okay, if a pattern requires you to make a half double crochet 2 together, this is how it would go. It's not too difficult, but it is something that you kind of have to memorize. So the first thing you do, as you would for a half double crochet stitch, is you wrap the yarn once. Then you insert it into the very next stitch, front and back loops, just like that, and you pull up a loop on the hook to where you now have 3 loops on the hook. Now next you're going to wrap the yarn again and insert your hook into the very next stitch. This is kind of your second half double crochet stitch, and you're pulling up another loop to where you now have 5 loops on the hook. And once you have those 5 loops on the hook, you're going to pull the yarn through all 5 loops on the hook, just like that. And that there is called a half double crochet 2 together. Hope you learned something, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.